Hello, everybody. Look at me starting on time. What's going on? Let me say hi to everybody because how does the chat say zero people here? Really, people in the chat. I don't know. Let me say hi to everybody. We have a lot to cover, and after this live ends, we're going to be on my members doing a member show. It's going to be on the middle tier. And that's also going to be fun. So let me say hi to everybody, and then we'll get going. Hello, Miss Catherine, Patty S, Stephen, Miss Lisa, Sheila, Barbara M, Mary B, Sheila, Susie Q, Jules, Videos, Nancy, Lisa J, Addie, hello, Barbie, hi, Becky S. All right. That was relatively meaningless. Okay. So I've been listening to people have been asking me the weirdest questions about what's going on in Angela's house. Like, did Angela get her house seized? Did she have to move into a rundown apartment? Hey Nana Banana, Coco. Um, Assets frozen. Michael sued Angela and TLC to a packed courtroom, a media frenzy. I'm just spitballing here the things I've listened to, and I was like, I gotta say something about it. I'm gonna play a couple of the clips so you can hear it, and yeah, that's how we're gonna play it. And well, you know what? I'm not gonna go into that yet. Let me play the first clip. Yes. Uh, because it's just all insanity. And you cannot like Angela all you want, but these people are presenting this as facts, court cases, judges, media circus. How did nobody hear about this? Clearly, with that much coverage, that would be all over the news. But whatever. Hey, Steven. So let me play the first one because it's just insane.
Embarrassed and
Can you hear
details
that?
emerged, revealing the depth of the manipulation and deceit that had been woven into the show.
Can you guys hear that?
Former crew members at the end. Angela was left respected, finally snapped. He told Angela that he could no longer continue in a marriage where there was no respect, no trust, and no peace. Angela, feeling cornered and losing control, tried to manipulate Michael one last time.
And like all these accounts, YouTube channels doing videos on Angela are all like always like the AI robotic voice. What are you hiding? No, this isn't Kibbles and Bits, but I'll get to Kibbles and Bits at the end, Susie. Um, I just don't trust any channel that uses a robot voice because to me that just screams you're hiding something. You can be anonymous and still use your voice. Uh, so I just wanted to throw that out there.
She publicly declared that if Michael left her, she would make sure he never saw his family again, leveraging his immigration status as her final weapon. Michael, hurt and angry, decided he'd had enough. For the first, telling her that he would rather be free and penniless in Nigeria than live another day in her prison of manipulation. This comfort
Live another day in her prison of manipulation. Talk about flourish. Uh, and let me just say this for the umpteenth time. Michael got here, I believe, Christmas Eve of last year. And he left whenever we got to uh, Georgia to cover it. So I think that was the last week of February or mid February. So we're looking at 6 weeks. Prison of manipulation. Why'd he come? You know, if we've all watched the show, right? And all these people are doing are just playing clips of the show. And we've seen how tumultuous their relationship has been since day one, pretty much. Why'd he come? He was home, safe in Nigeria. You know, if Angela was so bad that he had to deal with her, so she was there for like a week or two, a year to film. And he never needed to come here. Yeah, everything was very, as soon as he got here, I think the tell-all was shot maybe like a couple of weeks after it, and we all saw that one. Uh, and then he leaves. 5 hours on foot. Poor guy. No way in hell that happened. Sorry. Like I said, getting to Angela's house isn't easy. It's like she's like right off the interstate. No, you have to like get off I-95 and then take 2 hours of back roads to get there, where there is just nothing. An occasional town here and there with like, a post office and maybe a McDonald's if it's bougie. That's 2 hours of that. So I just don't see how that could have happened. Plus, where Angela lives, he would have stuck out like a sore thumb. Um, whatever.
Broadcasted live on TV, marked the beginning of the end. Angela was left fuming, unable to comprehend that Michael was finally done playing her game. She had never imagined that the man she had so tightly controlled would have the strength to walk away. Her fury was compounded by the realization that, without Michael, her star power was fading. The viewers loved their dynamic, but without Michael,
Angela could have dropped Michael after season one, and still, I don't think was Single Life on back then. I don't think it was created yet, but they would have found another place for Angela on the show, even if it was Pillow Talk. Single Life, she could have been on another season of Before 90 Days with a new guy. Hi, Usman, shout out to you. So you can't tell me that she needed him to be on the show. Hey, Velvet.
Angela was just another cast member, her storyline losing its sparkle. With their marriage in tatters, Angela resorted to damage control. She tried to paint herself as the victim, spinning tales of Michael's alleged betrayals and her efforts to save their marriage. But her erotic behavior was catching up with her. The public had grown tired of her antics, and the narrative she was trying to spin was not resonating. The day Michael filed the lawsuit, the headlines blazed with the news. Angela and TLC.
The headlines blazed with the news. Who says that? I don't think I've ever heard that before. And somebody who's been in lots of articles, I don't know.
Were blindsided. Angela stopped at the news, publicly ridiculing Michael's attempts to challenge her and the network. She was confident in her celebrity status and believed the network would protect her, but she underestimated Michael's resolve. The court case that followed would be nothing short of a spectacle, drawing.
Now, this is where it gets fun. The court case that followed would be nothing short of a spectacle, like this ridiculousness that we're listening to. There was no court case. So far, the only thing that Michael's done to Angela in a legal way was respond to her annulment petition. With the over $51,000 of only $25,000 asked. And that law firm, they may be good down there, but there's no way they need all this money for this. But whatever. People are saying that Angela's going to drag this out in court. Like, are you idiots? She needs this done as fast as possible, like yesterday. And that the reason for giving Michael more money in the GoFundMe was to sucker people in even more, saying, "Oh, MG gonna ride this out in court forever." Anybody who knows anything about, like, this show or immigration or the different types of visas, you want this done as expeditiously as possible. But let's go back to this court case. That listen to this. Get some popcorn.
Global media attention and
Global media attention of a court case that never happened.
creating a frenzy among fans and critics alike. The trial was long, grueling, and intense.
What trial? Long, grueling, and intense? So, if this is accurate, Michael already had money for attorneys. Why did he need the GoFundMe? Did you see that bus coming? Long, grueling, and intense. This lawsuit that Michael put on Angela and TLC. And, for that type of, Angela's one thing, but if you're going against a network with all their very bougie, high-priced attorneys that just sit in like one room and wait for the phone call to jump on something, that's buco bucks. And I'll tell you what, TLC would drag that out for as long as possible if that was the case. Long, grueling, what huh?
Every day, new details emerged, revealing the depth of the
Oh, yeah, thank you, Sheila. Like I previously reported, Michael had gotten paid from the show directly, because in the beginning they would only ever pay the American because it was illegal to pay someone living in another country that wasn't an American citizen. Somehow they got around that. I don't know how they. I think for like the last 2 years, maybe. Gotta be me. I think. I think for the last 2 years they've been paying the cast directly, but since the inception and back in 2012, they only paid the American, and it was up to the American to do what they wanted with the money. It was going into their bank account. Hey, Wendy. Getting my extra $2 a month worth. I think it's actually 3 months or more now. I need all I can get of these wonderful distractors. By the way, there was a wild SW video. Sherelle's World? K and R are buying a bigger house. Okay, I'm losing it on the initials. Oh! Cody and Robin are buying a bigger house. Oh, man. Well, we know one thing about that. They have enough hideous furniture in the world to decorate it. Man, old 80s dressers and paintings of like dogs playing poker, like right up to the roof. I could just see it wall to wall. Lopsided bookcases. All right, getting off the topic. I have to do another live right after this. All right, so back to this ridiculousness.
Manipulation and deceit that had been woven into the show. Former crew members came forward, testifying to the scripted nature of the scenes.
This is like, can someone send me the link? I mean, clearly this is way involved and somebody must have it, right? Because I would love to see like the paperwork, what the cast members and crew members said afterwards. I mean, this was like she said, a spectacle.
Intentional editing to vilify Michael and Angela's active participation in setting him up for failure.
I don't know if you just caught that, but she said Angela's, so you know it's a robot voice.
Evidence was presented showing Angela plotting with producers to push Michael to his breaking point, all for the sake of higher ratings. Michael's lawyers painted a compelling picture of a man who had been used and abused, not just by his wife.
Then they show one clip of legalese, and it's from the only thing that Michael filed, which was the response to the annulment.
But by an entire network that saw him as a disposable tool for profit. The courtroom was packed with spectators, media, and former cast members of 90 Day Fiancé who were keen to see the outcome of this landmark case. Angela.
Oh, I was there too. If we're just gonna lie, I was there. I brought Georgie. And also I'm pregnant and I'm having an ostrich baby. So, you know, registries are hard for like little baby ostriches. So, when I figure out a place to register, I'll drop it. And then like, you know, we'll be expecting a lot of, you know, baby ostrich shower gifts.
Once so bold and brash, appeared nervous and worn down, her confidence waning with every piece of evidence presented against her. The turning point came when a former TLC executive who had recently left the network took the stand and confirmed that there were discussions in board meetings about using Angela's chaotic relationship with Michael as a goldmine for ratings. The executive revealed that Angela had actively suggested ways to create more conflict, even proposing to fake a scandal that would make Michael look like a cheater. This testimony
Proposing, making up a scandal to make Michael look like a cheater. I showed here on my own channel 3 different ladies coming forward, sending me information on Michael. I mean, I played them. I showed them. Go check my other like 2 lives that I did on Michael and Angela. Let me see here. And just to, let me see if I still have it up.
Kati, try and understand me, okay? I'm trying to call you now, you're not picking up. I've been busy filming, trying to sort things out, okay? Just trust me, please. Also, I have some money coming to your side. I'll let you know, okay? I'll call you, please. I love you and I miss you.
Doing scandals to make it seem like Michael was cheating. Well, he was. And, you know, you heard in his own voice there saying that he was putting money to the side for him and his whore. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry, I was just having a quick conversation with Cody. Back in 15 seconds. Okay. And we're back. All right, so let me go back to this craziness.
testimony was a bombshell, stunning the courtroom into silence. As the trial drew to a close, the judge delivered a scathing verdict. Michael was awarded substantial compensation for damages, defamation, and emotional distress.
Then why do you need a GoFundMe? Are you listening to this or am I hallucinating? Yes, Linda, I saw the Dancing with the Stars thing. I posted it. I posted it. I'm not really that thrilled for this season, but hey Rita, hey Brooklyn. But you know, there's a few people. You know, the pommel horse guy is going to win it. That's for sure going to happen. And I like him, so you know he got the bronze. Now we'll get the mirror ball. Anywho, let me go back to this. I can't get distracted.
Judge found that Angela and TLC had conspired to manipulate, defraud, and exploit Michael for financial gain. TLC was fined heavily, and Angela was ordered to surrender a significant portion of her assets to compensate Michael. She would lose her house, cars, savings, and even some of the royalties she had earned from the show.
Well, shit, maybe we should start a GoFundMe for Angela now. I mean, she's got nothing. The house, the cars, yeah, they're all in that same house and all driving the same cars.
Angela's fall from grace was swift and brutal. Once the queen of reality TV drama, she was now vilified and disgraced. Her social media accounts, once buzzing with fans and followers, were flooded with criticism and condemnation. Sponsors and endorsements she had enjoyed began to pull away, eager to distance themselves from the controversy. Her friends, many of whom had enjoyed the limelight alongside her, suddenly stopped returning her calls.
This, like, she should write like Danielle Steele like type romance novels. Because this is fantasy.
For Angela, the loss of material wealth was only the beginning. She faced a wave of public humiliation that seemed to have no end. Gossip columns and news channels relished in her downfall, running stories about her temper, her history of confrontations, and her reckless
That's exactly what this channel is doing, by the way. But who's taking notes?
behavior. People began to see her not as a misunderstood woman fighting for her love, but as a ruthless schemer who would stop at nothing to get what she wanted. Meanwhile,
Where'd my sound go? Hold on. Oh, that's because Cody just took my car and my audio is linked to it.
Shows, podcasts, and even movie producers who wanted to tell his story. He was finally
Movie producers are reaching out to Michael and wanting to tell the Michael whatever his name is, story. Again, why'd you need a GoFundMe? He's got book deals, movies coming.
from the shadows of Angela's manipulation, free to live his life on his terms. Angela, on the other hand, found herself alone. With no one left to turn to, she retreated to a small, rundown house in a quiet town.
Like, this can't be like legit. She retreated to a small, rundown house in a quiet town. Oh, and by the way, guys, this just came in. I'm having twin ostrich babies. We're only wanted the one, but like, what a blessing.
Far from the cameras and lights she once craved, she spent her days watching old reruns of her appearances on TV, trying to relive the moments when she was still in control, still the star. But those days were gone.
Let me tell you something. I've been to Angela's house, I think, a lot, and spent a lot of weeks there. Not one time ever, even when the show was airing when I was there, did we watch the show when it was on TV.
And no one was coming to rescue her from her cell-made misery. Michael, in a final gesture of closure, publicly forgave Angela, saying he hoped she would find peace and learn from her mistakes.
When did that happen? So if he forgave Angela, then why is... Lord.
This act of grace only solidified his newfound status as a man of integrity and strength. Angela, however, remained defiant, refusing to apologize or admit any wrongdoing, further alienating herself from those who might have shown her sympathy. With his legal battles behind him, Michael
with his legal battles behind him. They just started. And it was just a response to an annulment. And this was posted 1 day ago and has 20,000 views. And every comment is like the pitchforks and the mob. Because listen, if you don't know anything about this or like, kind of follow it loosely, this is very, I would, I can listen to it and laugh because it's ridiculous. But, if you don't know a lot of, you can listen to this and it sounds factual, especially the words they're using. And let me say this too, Angela, I think, has been doing event after event after event, and that's working. She's got the grandkids she takes care of, a daughter she takes care of, and the whole house really revolves around that. I know that Angela would be cleaning windows on the interstate off ramp if she had to, just to like make sure that her grandkids were happy. All right, that's the end of that one. Let me go to the next one because oof. Let me see. Okay, sorry. On to the next ridiculous story. Okay, there was that one. And then okay, this one. Nope, that's the one I just played. And there's sorry. Here, this is the next one.
Everything. Your DMs and Instagram?
Now, this is a different channel with like 9,000 subs. And again, another AI voice. What are you hiding? All right, that's clips of the show. Let me go. Here we go.
Control issues and manipulate.
Know what she's gonna do with it.
In a totally unexpected twist, the court.
And this sounds like the same exact voice that we just listened to. And it's not, it's a completely different channel. But okay.
Just froze Angela's bank accounts. This shocking move is a huge turning point in the ongoing drama between Angela and Michael from 90 Day Fiancé. After years of financial struggles, control issues, and manipulation, the law has finally stepped in. Now that the court has frozen Angela's accounts, it's not just a legal move, it's a major shakeup in their relationship dynamics. Angela, who has always used her financial power to keep control over Michael, is now in a tough spot, unable to access her cash without court approval.
Angela said she want me to stop dry, but Angela doesn't listen. It's always about.
And then like more clips of the
For
show.
convenience, it was all about control. Angela's grip on their relationship was tied to her ability to decide how, when, and if money would be spent. By making Michael financially dependent on her, she ensured he stayed under her thumb. Whenever
What I do?
Stop lying.
Damn it. Sorry.
Your DMs.
their marriage, she made sure that every dollar that came into their home went through her. She didn't just keep track of their finances, she controlled them, and she used that power to keep Michael in check. Every paycheck, every transfer, and every bit of cash Michael sent back home to Nigeria went straight into Angela's account. This setup.
So she said that Michael sent home to Nigeria, meaning that this was in the, the very limited scope of time that he was actually living there.
Wasn't just for convenience, it was all about control. Angela's grip on their relationship was tied to her ability to decide how.
And again, as I said in I forget which live it was, but Angela was sending Michael money lots of money because he wanted to go into the car flipping business, even though he's not a mechanic, and I don't know what for. And she was sending him thousands and thousands and thousands for no car that ever got flipped. And what it boiled down to was, Angela saying, well, you know what? We're doing good from the show. You don't even need to work. So if Angela was keeping everything from Michael for 50 out of 52 weeks a year, I don't know how he'd still be alive.
When and if money would be spent. By making Michael financially dependent on her, she ensured he stayed under her thumb. Whenever he needed cash for food, clothes, or even sending something back to his family, he had to go through her. And she didn't make it easy. She often held back money, claiming they needed to save for emergencies or saying,
let me tell you something. Angela does not hold back with money. I've seen her go into Walmart and tip Walmart employees for, helping her out. Here's $20, go get lunch on me. I've been out to restaurants and bars with her where, she'll buy a table around or maybe their dinner because they were good people. Oh, I know MW. I know it's junk, but people are listening to this and going ham on it. So that's my point on doing a live because Angela is not really well received at the moment, right? So anything anybody hears about her, they're not going to fact check it. They're not going to put any thought into it. Well, I saw him. I saw her being mean to him on the show, so this must all be true. That logic. And like I said, I spent more time with Angela. Cody is number one, and then Angela is right underneath them. Yes, Sheila. If you go to IMDb and you put his name in, I think in 2023 he did some Nigerian film. I think it's like one credit, but I guess this is why, the movie producer is. I'm sure that Michael is on a phone call with Steven Spielberg or Martin Scorsese right now. Of course, MW.
bad with money. This left him in a tough spot, unable to make his own choices or even take care of himself without her say so. This financial control was annoying for Michael. It was super frustrating and humiliating. Imagine working hard as an adult, but still having to ask for money just to get by. That was Michael's life. Angela's tight grip on their finances meant.
Oh, this just in for Michael's new movie. Ryan Gosling is going to be Michael in the film. So that's going to be interesting.
He often couldn't afford new clothes.
Isn't it fun to make stuff up?
Or even his own meals. There were times he had to wear the same outfits over and over because Angela wouldn't give him cash for new ones. It wasn't that the money wasn't there, it was just her way of keeping him dependent. There were also times when Michael couldn't.
And, Michael didn't, he didn't need a Kohl's $5 t-shirt or 2 for $10, when you see it because Lord, I love those t-shirts. You see me wearing them all the time. He needed the bougie, I don't know. I don't even know what people wear anymore. It had to be high end, because he had an appearance. Funny enough that you asked that. Punky Brewster will be portraying me in the bioepic, and I'm here for it.
Send money to his family back in Nigeria because Angela had limited access to their funds. This not only caused tension with his family, but also made him feel even more powerless in his marriage. Constantly asking for money made him feel less like a man, and Angela's refusal to let go of control only made things worse. This financial stranglehold created a toxic vibe where Michael felt like a guest in his own life, always needing Angela's approval for even the smallest money decisions.
And everything else.
And I've also seen, like, right when he escaped the 5-hour trek, something akin to Moses. I saw about, I don't know, $3,500 worth of brand new clothes that were Michael's. Some with, like, the tags on them still. And it wasn't chintzy, rainbow shop type clothing. Although I always wish that the rainbow shop had, like, equivalent for, like, men. We'll have to look into that.
I worked for about 5 hours.
For basic needs, only to be turned down by Angela. They shared how he often had to go without or rely on friends and family because she wouldn't let him have the funds. This painted a picture of a guy who wasn't just financially controlled, but financially abused.
Right, Susie? And then hoarding that money into different accounts, then there's the whole Paradise Men thing that he was, like, the president and CEO of. Talking to the women, all this, he was playing the long game. He got here, the tell-all was shot, he made sure that the tell-all went a certain way. This is all planned. And I can't wait to be the one to say I told you so, because I will. When more of this stuff comes out. After the tell-all, he's there for like another 3 weeks. And then he plans his big escape. Like, he's Julia Roberts in Sleeping with the Enemy. And, she had to go and break the lamppost on the beach so there'd be darkness and she could find her way out. Because, I guess Michael came home one day and all the cans weren't lined up, label out on the shelves. And I think there was like a towel that hung lower than the other.
The court recognized that Angela's actions went beyond just managing money. It was a calculated effort to keep Michael under balance. The court decided to step in. The judge ordered Angela's bank account frozen until they could do a thorough audit. This wasn't just a financial move, it was a statement. The court.
Nope, I'm sorry. I'm looking at my phone right now from when we went there. He left like that's right. He left like 3 days after the tell-all. Shot the tell-all and he was out. Made sure that, Angela was being the aggressor and, good old humble Michael just sitting there and taking it. That's okay. I love her. I love Angie, and then he left. 3 days. So you heard him on the tell-all. He loves her. He's going to make it work no matter what. He's in it for the long haul. He's in something for the long haul. It just wasn't his. It wasn't his marriage to Angela. Because when I was there at the house and we were filming it, Angela started talking about what just happened on the tell-all, and then I had to stop her. I'm like, "You're going to get in trouble with the show." Yeah.
Wasn't just freezing her funds, it was freezing her control and ability to manipulate Michael through money.
Oh, she. Lord. Did you just see the light come out of my eyes? Oh, man.
For her temper. And this situation was no different. She vented to anyone who would listen, blaming the court, the lawyers, and even Michael for what she saw as an unfair attack on her.
All right, that's about that for this video because I have another 10 minutes before my other live starts. I mean, I could push it back a little bit, like 5 or 10 minutes, but I don't want to do that. So let me go to the next piece of weirdness. You know, and a lot of Nigerians saying that Angela used Michael for the show, but she never needed him. You know, don't forget she was on Maury a couple of times, and I think that she had told me that they wanted her to come back more. So she didn't, you know, it is what it is. If Colt can still find a way to be on this show in some way, that's it, Jules. We're gonna have fun. All right. Now, Kibbles and Bits. First off, they did a live on YouTube saying, live here with Angela's friend Renee. And I'm like, you know, because I hung out with Renee in Vegas. I was like, that, all right. I go, I guess Renee. So I go to watch it, and it's not Renee from the show. It's Andrea from Sherelle's channel. Remember Andrea? Andrea changed her name from Andrea to Renee. Or maybe her name's Andrea Renee, whatever. But I always knew her as Andrea. I think someone had told me, or I heard that she's not even affiliated with Sherelle and Perry anymore. But to go on there and use a different name, and you know, Andrea is another, you know, another black lady, and huh? How, you know, just like the clickbaitiness of it. Does she even know Angela? Well, Kibble has asked her, and Andrea, give me 1 second, guys. And to sit there with fake Renee, I mean, that's just crazy. And the other thing from Kibbles and Bits I wanted to show, I'm going to switch devices here, was the only the court paperwork that came out of all this, which was the response to the annulment. Where is it now? I'm going to find it. Okay. So I wanted to go over, you know, so their big headline: Michael has filed for divorce. He's responding to divorce. He needed an attorney, right? You know, because the $40K he got from his payout from the show directly in his account wasn't enough. And all these winnings that he got against Angela and TLC for this long, grueling spectacle of a court case that cast members were at, the talk of the town. So he had all that money. But, and like, you know, if they said TLC was paying out big. So, okay. This is just crap. Michael has filed for divorce. No, he responded to the petition of annulment. So he is requesting one half of the marital assets and spousal support. Now this fool wants alimony. Like, you can't. I'm sorry.
But meanwhile, she paid for him to come over.
She paid for everything.
I know she did. Trust me, I know.
I feel like Goldie Hawn in First Wife Clubs, and he wants alimony? You know, like, okay. And this was the clip that one of those AI channels played, which is from the annulment, the response to the annulment, and not some landmark civil suit that law schools will be teaching till the end of time. Okay, so there should be an equitable division of all the property and debts to the marriage. That respondent be awarded both temporary and permanent spousal support. He lived with her for 6 weeks, and he lived in Nigeria. He lived in Nigeria every week of the year since they've been together. Okay. That respondent be awarded his separate property. Well, according to other court cases, Angela got her house seized and her cars, and now she's living in a dilapidated hut and has to take the bus every day. No, Cody, that's what they're saying.
Listen, if that's what they want to believe, let them believe that.
Cody just got home.
Whatever.
He missed pretty much everything on this live. The court that the court required the petitioner to pay for the respondent's attorney's fees and costs of litigation incurred in this proceeding. So there, all that GoFundMe money that he had to pay for the attorney fees, he's looking to get back. I'm sure he's not going to refund it to anybody, but why would he? Because they asked for 25 and they're already like 52,000, because that's not crazy. And I don't know. He was standing in front of that red Mercedes wearing a Mercedes hat. He says he didn't buy it. All right.
No, someone probably bought it for him.
Okay. But don't you think that's like a little cavalier? When you have this GoFundMe and like here I am pointing at this new Mercedes that most people would think that he got. I also heard, no, I saw, there's so many videos and posts about this that I can't take screenshots of everything because I'll run out of storage on my phone. But someone had said that they saw Michael purchasing a Tesla or driving it out of the showroom. And again, in the spirit of fairness, that could be a lie. But I don't know. The first thought, the Mercedes, I don't know. He's doing pretty well for himself. Let's see. That respondent be granted the additional relief herein requested on a temporary and permanent basis. That respondent be granted such and other further relief as his court deems equitable. That the petitioner's request for annulment be dismissed for being frivolous and baseless since he failed to include any statutory basis. And then that he wants the house and it doesn't take a genius to know that any property or wealth that you had accrued prior to the marriage is that person's property. So the house she got before him, all the money that that she had made prior to the marriage would be hers. And then this is just really nasty looking. And reading this, I can tell that the only person who would be dragging this out is Michael, because A, he's got all the money in the world now, so why not? B, it turns even more people against Angela. C, more GoFundMes and more money for lawyers' fees. And most importantly, D, that it keeps him here longer. The longer this plays out in court, the longer he stays. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if the annulment's going to be granted. I don't know if Michael's side will be granted. Like I said in the beginning of this live, Angela wants this done as quickly as possible because then, it's he'd probably have a better chance of getting deported, right? Or at least she's out of the marriage. He, on the other hand, is in jeopardy of not being able to stay here. I mean, I'm like, why would he want to stay here? He just said on a TikTok live, I love it here. I never want to go home. Bro, you've been here for like 5 minutes. And according to all these sites and everything, you hated every second you were with here and with Angela. So yucky. And I think that's about it for now, to be honest with you. I know it's 9:05. Somebody just texted me, one of my friends, John, hello. I have a friend that's a PI and told me that all the Nigerian men stay on the internet and posting false videos of fake news. And well, that doesn't surprise me, like, the Nigerian prince thing. And that's why I said about the AI, like, why are you hiding your voice? You're either somebody who's a big part of this story, Michael, or you're one of his friends, because you could be anonymous and not show your face. This person shows nothing. So I always side eye that AI stuff. They're hiding something. They're hiding their identity. I'd rather you hello Sydney. Like I would rather you do like that voice from Scream. At least it's fun to listen to.
I can see your feet.
They're behind the couch. Let me see if there's anything else. I had a couple more of these like same AI videos, but it's pretty much like more the same. And I think just listening to what we listen to would be enough proof to. And I don't know how those channels can. I mean, I hope Angela goes after him. I mean, I would. And and Michael always said to the grandkids how much he loved them, and those grandkids all loved Michael. When we were there after he left, all 6 of them were heartbroken. It was,
It was really sad.
It was hard. It was hard.
It was sad. It was really sad.
Because it's one thing to see Angela upset, but then
well, he hurt the whole family.
Yeah.
It
And
wasn't
then
just Angela.
Bug, Skyla's son, was watching a TikTok video Michael was on, and I guess they dropped a phone number. I'm not hey Shelly, I'm not that good with the TikTok. And Bug, Michael picked up Bug's call or his request. I maybe tried to go live with him. And as soon as Bug got on and Michael heard his voice, he hung up on him. Because those kids, they really did care for him. I don't think there's anything else. There probably is. Well, and it was the same. Now it was this. I played 2 different channels, independent of each other. It was the same exact voice, the same AI voice. So that's a little sus. And I know that Angela loved him. She wasn't keeping him around to be on the show or fame or money. She loved him because he was doing a lot of stuff to her. Most people also it's very hard to when it's your marriage, right? Like you don't want to hear what anybody has to say because it's your relationship, it's your marriage. And it's easier said than done. But if it were me, with all that stuff going on that whole time, I would have been like, nah, I'm good. But he stuck around. He played the long game. Thank you, Shelly.
And he benefited.
And he benefited.
Well, he's like
the luckiest man in America. And
who knows the other ones out there?
Ryan Gosling is playing him in the movie. Punky Brewster's playing me. And funny enough, Ricardo Montalban is playing Georgie. I love the casting. And I'm also pregnant with ostrich twins.
I know they're not mine. I don't have twins in my family, so.
But I don't want to make this run anymore. If I have anything else, I'll speak on it. I really just hope that people who are listening to these videos can maybe listen to this, and there's the lies. I feel like candy. The lies. It's I've certainly had people lie about me, and it's infuriating. And you've seen how I reacted. I don't know, but I'm gonna end this live. Thank you guys for being here. Don't forget, we're doing the member show right after this one. It's the middle tier, and thanks for being here. Thank you for listening. And again, let me just say in closing, I know I'm in the minority, right? And trust me, y'all let me know about it in the comments. I get it. But a true friend stays with somebody even when they're at their worst or when they're down. And that's been Angela for me and Cody for years, just like my subs that have been here with me, who have stuck around, who I'm so appreciative for, my moderators. Because it's not easy being associated with somebody like Angela or me when all this crap is going on about you.
That negativity and hatred.
And it only makes you want to react more.
It does.
And thank God I'm past it. But
hallelujah.
Thank you, Jesus. So good night, guys. I'll see you to the members. I'll see you in a few minutes. Bye, everybody.